Hello, Hot Pasty. Welcome to the Need to Know Comedy Show. How are you?
Very good, Joe. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah. So you were recommended by Joey Page. You know Joey Page?
We love Joey Page.
We do.
Love
Yeah,
Joey Page.
he's a lovely little boy, isn't he?
And have you gigged with him, or how do you know him?
No, God, no. Not gigged with him. He does gigs in comedy clubs, doesn't he?
Yeah.
We mainly do gigs in sort of Millwall supporters clubs, really. But
Yeah.
we met him up in Edinburgh, and he came along to one of our shows.
Yeah.
By accident. Little back room in the south side of the pub, weren't we?
Yeah.
And normally each night we perform to at least 3 people. We were getting good numbers, and this night we were at least up to 5, and it was really rocking, wasn't it?
That night, if I remember correctly, it was a big night because there was karaoke going on in the bar, and you couldn't really hear our set, and we couldn't really hear each other.
No, which is like how we like to perform. Really, we're dangerous performers.
The name of Hot Pasty does that reference your taste in food, or does it have a subtext?
I'm an advocate for Greg's.
Yeah, no, we love Greg's, and they do pasties. I used to go to Cornwall on holiday as a child, just a small child, and yes, I did used to have pasties there. And do you know what? The one consensus we always had about pasties was we like them hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do ask us which one is hot and which one is pasty. And
my name's Hot.
My name's Ed.
And I think Echo and the Bunnymen had the same problem.
Did they?
Well, yeah. Well, people would say which one of you is Echo, but I think Echo was actually a drum machine, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Echo and the Bunnymen. What Killing Time? That was a good song, wasn't it?
That was their biggie.
That was their biggie. Lovely big guitar swirls on them.
Killing Moon, I believe the name of the song is.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Don't do that. Do you know what? Moons are quite important, aren't they? Because they do the whole tides. They're in charge of a lot of things.
Yeah, they are. They are connected to the tides. So, what's your what's your influences, for example? Let's say in comedic or any influences, be they comedy or anything else.
The song My Way by Frank Sinatra.
What is it about that song that particularly influences your comedic style?
At the end of this journey that me and Ed are currently on, we kind of want to be able to sing that together, don't we?
Yeah. I think we're very much for doing things our way.
That's right.
So probably Frank Sinatra. Also, the TV show Golden Balls.
Yeah.
was huge influence on me.
I don't know Golden Balls. What happens on that show?
Well, it was a very interesting show of tactical skill, and you had golden balls, and they each had some money in them, and basically you had to lie. You show 2 of them, but you have 5, and you've got to kind of lie or tell the truth to get through the big amounts. But you can have killer balls, and they will half your money. And it was hosted by Jasper Carrot.
Oh yeah, Jasper Carrot. I remember him from Birmingham, isn't he?
Yeah, and there's a great video if you go on YouTube, on the internet.
Yeah,
you can find a great video. It's called "The Best Ever Face Off in Golden Balls," and it is so tense.
That's what we're about. We're kind of about risking everything.
Yeah,
It feels like that when we perform.
Yeah.
It feels like we're going on stage and we don't know what's inside our golden ball, but there's a chance, it's a bloody big old number, and there's a chance we'll be going home with the money.
Yeah. So you don't know what's inside your golden balls of comedy And what
It's exactly it.
what will come out?
What's
Okay.
inside your golden balls of comedy?
What are in what?
Inside your golden balls of
My
comedy.
golden ball of comedy. Wow. I think loose change.
Yeah.
Just loose change. Compared to your massive golden balls full of cash.
Here's the thing, Joe. We don't know what's inside the golden balls yet. We've not opened them. All we're doing is running around with golden balls, and one day we'll be told it's time. And we'll see what's in there.
I also like to think as well, if you've just got loose change in your golden ball, when you're buying maybe a tin of pop from the shop, instead of getting out a purse, you would get out a golden ball. And that would look lovely. And you could open that, count out your coppers.
Yeah, that's kind of nice to do. It's a nice little surprise for the shop assistant.
Sorry, can you hear me? I'm not speaking into this.
Oh yeah, I can actually hear you. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
not better though if I speak like that.
No, I think it's okay. I can hear you. Is that the only mic? That's not working. That
Sorry,
mic.
no, it's not plugged in. Sorry, mate.
Oh yeah. So what have you been doing? You did a show in Edinburgh, did you?
Yeah, times that by 2, Joe. We've done 2 shows in Edinburgh. First one, what was that called?
Hot Pasty is too hot to handle oven mitts provided, so you can handle it. We didn't want to put anyone off.
No, we wanted to. It was going to be hot, but safety precautions were in place.
And since then, Netflix have ran with the show Too Hot to Handle. We haven't seen any of the money come our way.
No,
I mean, I admit they're very different shows.
You're not. Are you involved in the Netflix version of Too Hot to Handle?
No, they're very different. The Netflix version is about dating.
We
But
kind
are
of
you
wanted
involved
to,
in the background.
No, not even that. We wanted full artistic freedom to not be involved.
Yeah. That is the ultimate artistic freedom to
Absolutely.
not be involved in the show. So you did. Where did you do? Free Fringe or some other version of Free Fringe?
PBH Free Fringes, and we love PBH, so we're going to stick with them, I think.
We're going to stick with them, Joe, because we don't have any money. We don't want money. And there's nothing better than on a Saturday night, passing around your little bucket at the end and getting at least £5 each on a sold out night. And just walking away and getting yourself a falafel wrap and realizing that this is life and this is great.
But you're like true artists. So you really do it for the art. And
wow, cheers, Joe. Really?
That sounds like it. Do you think that when you do find fame,
whoa,
you have a brush? You are.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you might just be a painter of houses, but. Well, I think you're an artist.
Do any job just to keep us.
Any odd jobs. If anyone has got any odd jobs going, I'm more than happy to take them on, fans or otherwise. We don't really mind, do we? No. It's just an income at this stage.
So would you perform in people's homes and do odd jobs as well? Would that be something?
We have performed in people's homes, yeah. One night, I remember a raucous night in a house where Ed covered himself head to toe in Vaseline. And we just sort of slipped him around the living room. A big old cleanup job, but we don't mind doing that as well because that's an extra bit of at the end of it. Cheese.
But do you like do you like the idea of becoming rich and famous, or do you feel that might corrupt you in any sense? Or
I mean, I'd love to become rich and famous.
I think we're both in agreement that actually becoming rich and famous would be a weight off our shoulders.
Yes. The weight of poverty.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go, we're fine. We've both got jobs. We're doing this for a laugh. But I mean, if we could get loads and loads and loads of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'd probably put it back into free Fringe or something, wouldn't we?
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah. One at a time, I suppose. Where you grew up and your background.
Absolutely.
You good for that? Sorry, I've got my mask on still because me and H Lemon Driz, we don't live together.
No, this is.
So I've came round and hence the mask.
This is
it's
a part of
very
a bubble.
hot, and the sunglasses are really steaming up. So got
That's
no
okay.
awareness right now.
Well, that's fine for me. I mean, obviously, it might be a bother for you if you can't see my incredible face. But so I mean, basically, you're being protected. I mean, one of you's being protected. One is protected from the other one, at least. So, yeah, tell me about your background and how you grew up and all that kind of thing.
Kind of so, you know, I was born in Leeds, moved down to just south of Guildford at the age of 2.
On your own or with your family?
The family were there as well. They were very much involved in that whole move. It was a move for me and my career. And yeah, from the age of 16, left school at 16 and joined the Navy.
And then, when did you meet? Give me your background, Mr. Hot. Sorry.
Mr. Hot. I'm actually Pasty, but still.
Oh, Pasty, sorry.
It's fine. We come as one.
Yeah.
I was born in a very small town off Scotland. I was born in the Isle of Skye.
Woo.
As we all know, there is only a Premier Inn there. I grew up in that Premier Inn. My family owned the franchise. And I was just living there, mainly, you know, I was homeschooled. And then after a while, I also decided to join the Navy. And we were speaking about this earlier, because that's when me and H Lemon Driz met. We were watching the adverts about joining the Navy. And what does it say?
Well, that's right. We both kind of realised in 2 different parts of the country that, hey, I can kind of fix a bike here. And if I can fix a bike,
I can fix a skateboard, you know, and if I can fix a skateboard, then maybe I could fix an F-35 fighter jet. Neither of us could.
No, it turns out it's actually trickier. The step up is huge.
Yeah.
But I remember, really, we bonded over just stories about Ed living in the Premier Inn. I remember hearing, you know, how he lived on the little chocolates he left on the pillows.
Mainly continental breakfasts.
Yeah. And I was fascinated by Ed. And they did a little review show, didn't they, on the Navy? They flew out Tom Jones and he sang for all the troops. And they said, you know, you two are a right old giggle, didn't they? And we did 10 minutes of material just on boats and things like that, on rigging. And
know your crowd.
Know your crowd.
Yeah, you've got to know your crowd.
If there's any young comics out there, if you're doing a gig to the Navy, they love the rigging stuff. They really do.
Yeah.
Can you remember any of that material, the rigging material?
Yeah. So you.
I won't get it, but.
No. I remember, this is for the Navy boys watching. I remember I used to start, I go, Ed, you know, what, you know, bloody hell, how many knots have we had to learn to do? Wouldn't it be great if we could just, you know, do the knot you use to tie your shoes? And that went down an absolute storm.
Yeah. I kind of got that, actually, even though I haven't been in the Navy. So let's
think about Harrison. He knows 117 different knots. Good time knots, not knots as in, you know, speed. But he can't tie his shoes. Always wears Velcro.
I know.
Always wears Velcro.
Really?
But I don't mind it, Joe. Strap and go, my boy. That's always been my motto. Can
you name some of your favorite knots?
Yeah. The Schlapp song Zigo is good. The ZFR Panda X, I love that one. Slipknot's a goodie.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that would be very enjoyable for anyone who's watching who's been in the Navy. But so you started out in the Navy, like a lot of maybe the old timer acts, like, well, didn't Spike Milligan and people like that start off in the army? Was it?
Did he?
Started performing in the army anyway.
Yeah, and Spike Milligan, was he a part of the one of the G's, one of the goons or something?
Yeah, the goons, wasn't it? So would you recommend that as a way of starting out for your other acts?
It's tough. It's if you.
I'd probably say just get on the comedy circuit.
Yeah, it's probably easier.
Yeah.
It held us back.
It did hold us back. It's probably why we've only done 2 Edinburghs. And that's only when our boat went past Edinburgh. That was the only reason we would perform.
That's right. We'd go there for a small cheeseburger and a can of pop, and ended up just marching on an open mic night. And we did our knot stuff. It didn't go down well because different crowd, but certainly caught the bug.
And so then, did you leave the Navy, or how did you? You're not still in the Navy, are you?
No, I'm not. One of the main reasons I joined the Navy is just because I genuinely thought they all wore navy, and that colour just goes well with my complexion.
Brings out your eyes.
Exactly. But sadly, having an outdoor job on the Navy, I got very tanned. It didn't work. I decided to leave and become a kitchen porter in a restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the Navy either, but I did sign up because I knew what the Navy was. And I think we had creative differences about the way someone in the Navy should be. My whole thing was, enjoy the boat. Ed's whole thing was, why aren't we wearing double denim?
Yeah. So that created a bit of friction, I believe.
Hey, Joe, you need friction, man. When we're on stage, there is friction.
We make sure we perform on carpet.
Mm-hmm.
We need the friction.
So also, does that friction happen when you're rehearsing and writing? Can you tell me about your how you write together, and if there's any friction involved?
Well, we don't wear shoes when we write, so less friction than on stage. But when we're writing, it's kind of difficult to explain. And the people out there, they'll be watching this, I don't know if they'll be able to relate to this, but it's something we call zinging. And we just end up ideas. And I don't know where they come from. Do you, Ed?
For me, I'd say it's like you've had a big night out. Okay, you've had a big night out, you've drank way too much. You wake up in the morning and you feel horrendous. And you're just waiting for that sweet relief of spew. And it finally comes out and you put it in a bag and you take it to Edinburgh. That's how I would describe the writing.
Right, yeah. That's beautifully put. I've actually seen a little video of you writing, and do you draw your ideas rather than write them sometimes?
I'm a very visual guy. I've always been looking at things, and I just think sometimes, words can't describe some things.
Especially the parts in our show where we're not talking.
Yeah.
So it's very important to write them down in drawing. But what video have you seen of us drawing?
I saw a video on Facebook. I think it was on Facebook of you coming up with ideas. And I'm pretty sure one of you drew an idea. Am I wrong?
I mean, that sounds like the crazy things we do. It does sound crazy. But
Right.
yeah, no, maybe you're not wrong.
Yeah. So who are your heroes? Did I ask that question already? I don't think so.
I don't think you've asked our hero. You asked for influences. Heroes are a different thing.
Yeah. Heroes?
It's really hard to drink this big straw.
Who are our heroes? My hero is Matthew Hoggard.
Matthew Hoggard.
Matthew Hoggard was a...
to look him up.
Long-haired cricketer.
That's right. He was a man who had a bit of a belly on him. He loved a curry, presumably. He had long, loppy blonde hair. And it was inconceivable that he could shut down an 85-mile-an-hour doozer. But do you know what? He did, and he did it for a number of years, and he played for England.
Oh, really? Holy shit. I'm going to have to look him up now. What about any more heroes?
Now, I know their name has been spoken quite a lot recently.
Oh, he's a cricketer. Yeah, I see him now. Yeah. Oh, what a man. He's hefty, isn't he?
Hefty boy. Bowls a hefty ball, back of the length, swinging away.
Yeah. 6'2". He was a right-arm fast medium bowler and a right-handed batsman. Okay. And if you were stuck on a lift, who would you like to be stuck with?
Can I quickly just say my hero?
Oh, yeah, please. Sorry, yeah. I moved on to lift.
They've been mentioned a lot recently, and people are probably sick of hearing about them. But I'd say my real hero is the NHS.
Oh.
And can I just say...
Yes?
Yeah, I wish I thought of that as well.
That'll gain you a lot of fans, guys.
I've had a bit more time to think.
But I like N-dubs as well.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And so, how do you see so they're your heroes? Is that like, do you see yourself as, are you socialists? Are you capitalists? Communists? Politically, where do you stand? If the NHS are your hero, are you a bit of a socialist? I mean,
I'm sorry, I don't know what them words mean. I think that's what I'm trying to...
Right, yeah. Do you prefer to stay out of politics? Your comedy isn't political, is it?
Joe, what is politics?
No, seriously, I want to know what politics is.
Isn't everything political? Isn't the absence of politics?
Absolutely. I don't think you can be apolitical.
Apolitical what?
Apolitical idiot. So I'm going to ask you now. I think you've probably been set up for this, to recommend another act that I probably haven't heard of. It could be an obscure act, one that tickles your fancy, and that you reckon are worth checking out. So, have you thought of someone?
Have we got one each?
Oh, you get one each. Yes, absolutely.
Who are you doing?
Are you going to say each other?
No, I'm not going to do me. Okay. I'm going to say, as an artist comedian performer, and she's performed with us a few times. Her name's Laura McKenzie.
Laura McKenzie.
There was one great night we did. We were just hanging about. We were doing our little routine, and but previous to this, we'd never done it. I've never seen spoken word poetry before. I always thought poetry was written down. Even spoken word poetry, I just thought it was written down and you spoke it. And there were these spoken word artists performing, very serious spoken word artists. And she came on, and she was also a spoken word artist, but with a twist. I don't know if she was doing this properly for comedic purpose, but it seemed that way.
Yeah.
She was taking the piss in a way out of spoken word artists, and she didn't know that there were actual spoken word artists there. And God, that really tickled my gooch on that one.
Really?
That was
Or
funny.
McKenzie. Do you think I'll be able to find her? Is she very obscure?
She's done in Edinburgh.
Oh, okay.
In a 3, she did like a split bill, but I'm sure I'll be able to find her for you.
Yeah, if you can, I'd love to check out her poetry and see what she's all about. Perhaps
And a little obscurity from me.
Yeah.
There's a chap in a place in Wales called Cardiff, called Charlie Webster.
Oh, I know Charlie Webster.
Yeah, we met this little boy on the street, and he came to our show, and he said, "Look, come see me tomorrow. I'm here." We came along, and he had a plastic carrier bag full of meat, and he did a thing called the meat quiz, where he asked the audience questions that they then got wrong, and what they would have won was a sort of a ball of meat, and he ate their would-be prize, and it was so disgusting and filthy that we couldn't help but fall in love with him.
Yeah. We thought he was a big super fan of ours because he came to see us about 10 times at the South Side there. Just turns out the booze there is really cheap.
Yeah, he was there for the free booze.
He was there for the free booze. We actually had a lot of young kids who came to our show 2 years ago. Realised they weren't really there for us. They were there because they could get served. They weren't 18. And we're big advocates of underage drinking.
Well, it's a good way. It's a good way of attracting an audience. Just make sure
as long as it's in a safe place.
Yeah.
With good alternative comedy.
Yeah. And look, are you doing anything online at all? Is there any way of seeing you? I find it quite hard to find material of yours. Are you?
Joe, we like it like that. We like to only exist in the minds of about 5 or 6 people. That's all we can handle, really. No, but we've got sort of things in.
We've got fingers and pies.
Yeah.
Fingers and pies? Have you got things in the pipeline?
Yes, so every month we write for a show called Pinata.
Oh, okay.
We perform a sketch in that every month. And we also every week perform on Joey Page's show.
Oh,
Chat show on Twitch. Get on the Twitchies, people.
And in the pipeline, because we couldn't do Edinburgh this year, we're hoping to post our whole show that was recorded for free, skis. Well, it was for free anyway. Soon. But I need to, a lot of it, you couldn't hear us for most of it. So we're thinking we're going to have to overdub ourselves.
Which has its merits, I think. It could be fun. And I think, unfortunately with last year, there was a true crime element to the show. Essentially, it kind of unraveled from being an alternative comedy show into a murder mystery. And, we're going to get a lot of the people that were involved. We're going to get them talking heads. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it, Joe.
It sounds brilliant. You're certainly ploughing your own furrow in the field of comedy, and I think we'll see a lot more of you. And thanks very much for coming on the Need to Know Comedy show. I know that we set up twice. We didn't manage to hook up for various reasons, but it's been really a pleasure talking to you.
Joe, absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Very kind of you.
Absolutely.
Giving a platform to little silskies like us.
Absolutely. I will. So I'll check you out, and I'm sure lots of people will be checking you out over the next coming weeks. And thanks a lot for coming on the show. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks so much, Joe Skis.
Yeah.
Bye.